People always think of the Vikings when you talk about Norse history, but even these Viking boats, which are only 1,000 years old, can be seen as continuations of an ancient boat cult that went back to the Nordic Bronze Age. These golden boat models from Denmark are more than 3,000 years old. They show that a sophisticated culture has existed in Northern Europe for millennia. These are replicas of 2 golden drinking horns from Denmark. The runic engravings and expensive gold might make you assume they were made by Vikings, but they date to the 5th century, hundreds of years before the Viking Age even started. The men you see here are dressed in armour and clothing from the Vendel period, which is the mid-6th to the late 8th century. Most of their weapons and helmets are all from boat burials found either in Valsgärde or Vendel, both in Uppland, Sweden. But this one is from Anglo-Saxon England. The famous Sutton Hoo helmet looks a lot like the contemporary Swedish examples. Same kinds of imagery depicted on the foils on the sides of the helmets. This horned man motif, for example, is found not only in Vendel Sweden and England, but even as far away as Russia and as late as the Viking Age. It looks a lot like this guy from the golden horns of Gvasdnahr, which I showed earlier. This is called a pressblech, and it was used to make the foils like those on the helmets. I had a go at making one myself with the help of the smith David Roper.
Ow. That happens, I guess. That happens. After the first 2 or 3 pinches of the finger, you tend to be more careful.
He's much better at it than I am, though. Square-headed brooches like this one are also common in both Anglo-Saxon England and Scandinavia, long before the Viking Age. The shared material culture indicates that there was a pan-Germanic culture across Northern Europe, with shared religious beliefs too. This vast cross-continental culture, with its rich artifacts, was thriving long before the so-called Vikings. As a continuation of the aforementioned Nordic Bronze Age boat cult, all of these helmets and artifacts were found in boat burials at Valsgärde and at Vendel in Sweden, just like the boat burial at Sutton Hoo in England.